Hi. Sounded like Milo Melodies there for a moment. That wasn't intentional. Well, I've got a bit of soldering to do. I thought I would just put it out there because it might be interesting to somebody because this is part of an ongoing project. I'm not making a big fuss about it or anything, but I thought I would throw it out there while I'm doing it, trying to steal an hour before lunch to... What's going on? Am I not already doing it? I thought I was already doing it. Yeah, no, that's all right. So why is this not coming up? Oh, it is. Okay, just checking that I'm monitoring my what's it's, neutralizing the fields. Hi, yeah, no, so just monitoring things. So yeah, I will probably talk as I do things, but I don't know that I will necessarily have to say this. It's just really archival. Just to finish off this fella here, which is the massive Kosmo VCO. I talked about this last night in my live stream. This thing here, is that the right way up? Yeah, that's working. Um, so essentially, what happened was, I think it was a couple of years ago. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. A couple of years ago, I got Sam Battle onto my live stream, and we built this together. Well, we got so far because it turned out that I had ordered, because I'm an idiot, the completely wrong pots. I'd ordered these little squitty pots because they're called B100Ks, and that's what I was going on. But of course, what I needed was these sorts of pots. So I didn't have any at the time, so we were unable to finish it. No, I don't have a case, so I'll have to build a case at some point. So we weren't able to finish it at the time, but we got pretty far. We got the most of the stuff done. So really, there's like the knobs, obviously not on that thing, on here somewhere. The knobs, the link connector, the screen display. I've got to wire the knob thing in that I've lost. Where's that? I'm sure I had that somewhere. I'll find it again. I'd quite like to find it now. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Yeah, the knob thing. Got to wire that in with bits of wire, so that's exciting. So there's a little bit of making things up to do. I'm aware that there's a capacitor missing. This 10 nanofarad one here. Now I remember Sam saying that, oh, it don't really matter about some of the capacitors. He wasn't that bothered whether they're there or not. So the fact that I didn't have that one didn't seem to matter, I think, as I recall from what we said at the time. And that's also something he said similarly in his video build on this. So that I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to fill in what I can in the hope that I just somehow jammily make it work. So I don't have a header for this bit. I'm going to have to find from somewhere. But you know me, I'll just throw things together, and sometimes, mostly, it seems to work. And I'm a bit jammy like that. So I'm going to give that a go. That's the plan. Just for like the next hour or so. See what I can come up with. Because the reason I'm doing this, to get this finished now, is because I have the Eurorack version in for review, and I'm playing with it this week and reviewing it this week, all being well, if all things goes to plan. And I'd really like to have this to compare, simply because I nearly have one, nearly. I don't think it's far away from being complete, so it just seems right in my head to complete it, to have it alongside as, just to show the two together. I think that would be interesting. I've convinced myself of that anyway, so I'm going to give this a go. So enough talking for the minute. I'm not 100% sure that I know what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure what I can do is put the knobs on and the sockets on and things like that. I'm pretty sure I can do that. I'm pretty sure I can. I might have to refer to Sam's video on it. I did look at them yesterday, hoping that it's just going to stick in my head, but I might not be quite that clever. Yeah, I find that. So, you know, don't mind me. You're welcome to watch and stuff. You're welcome to chat. I do have the chat open. So whatever platform you're on, but feel free to throw in a comment if you wish. But I'm not. This is not necessarily here for entertainment on this particular occasion. I'm just gonna sit here and worry and try to work out what on earth I'm doing with this. And then this will be up on the YouTubes. I can't see is my biggest problem. I'm losing any ability to see things these days. But there's definitely things I can put on. Definitely things I can do. So let's have a look. The Arduino is in here. Not going to worry about that for now. That'll be the last thing I put in, I think. It does need some programming, which I haven't looked into what to do with that, but it seems relatively simple. I've got this link connector here, which I don't have. Let me go and find one of those. What did I do with those? This magic bag, I think. Along with all the knobs and bits and pieces I have. This is my general Kosmo bag. That's not one, is it? No. No, I have been through this looking for bits that I might be missing. So there's that. I will be doing a proper video build on this because I have a second one. I bought two. The idea was I wanted to make a two-voice synth, or at least a 2 VCO synth. You know, a two oscillator mono synth was the plan. That's what I wanted to do with the Kosmo stuff. You know, just to make a big, big, simple, fat synthesizer. So this goes in here. Oh, the cockerel's off today. That's good. So this is all of it is not good. I've got things sticking up at the wrong height. It's going to make things difficult. But I'm just going to kind of get on with it. I think I need that in there. I don't think there's anything else on this side actually, other than these wires, which I'll do last. Everything else is on the other side. This thing is going to get in the way. I have to do that, so I think I might resort to some masking tape. Let's turn the old soldering iron on, that'd be good. A little bit of water in my sponge. Yeah. This seems to be the worst masking tape in the world. It's all going to go horribly wrong. I'm not really with it either. It's all perfect. Perfect time for soldering is when you're feeling a bit kind of what, and you got everything together. That'd be good. Oh, that's brilliant. Look at that. Look at that for an idea. I could just solder that in there. That would be brilliant. Let's do that. Oh, let's put me safety specs on. There was something, I remember looking at this yesterday and thinking that that's really not soldered right. Where was that? Oh, in gee whiz, I looked at this yesterday and found that one of the chips was in the wrong IC holder. I mean, that's how awesome this is. I mean, it was a couple of years ago when I did the live stream with Sam. So I think my soldering and my attention to detail, I think, has hopefully improved over time, because I mean there's some really dodgy looking bits of soldering here, I can tell you for nothing. I mean these are great big globules. I should probably do some solder sucking to take some of this off, but it does seem to be, you know, on there. Even if it's a little bit over the top. There's quite a bit of reflowing I could do. But I will come back to that. Let me do what I'm... Don't get distracted, don't get distracted. Come on, this is going to be just quick and easy. Quick and easy is what I was going for today. Spent the morning doing paperwork. I hates it. I hates it. I always felt all I really want is some wealthy person to just say, hey, look, I'll take care of everything. You just enjoy yourself. Make videos. Make us proud. That's the ideal situation. How does that happen? You want someone to set up a foundation in my name that pays me. Okay. Babble, babble. Bubble, 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 bubble. Alright, so we've made a start. So I need to put on the display. I need to put on these trimmers. Now, with these trimmers, they've got to fit on here perfectly, I think. So I wonder if I need to put this on in order to do that. Now, what I don't seem to have is any standoff. So what I need to do is put the knobs on so I can use those to screw this front panel on and then put those other bits on. That sounds like a good idea. So let's do the knob thing then. One, two, three, four. Got a whole pack of how many? 16. So these must go on this side. Must do. Come on. Come on. What kind of rubbish is this? Come on. No, that's not very good, is it? No, but that's in. That is in. That's as far as they're going to go because they've got big shoulders. Big shoulders. That's a bit better. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Oh. What's that? Bent leg? should I do this with this on in order to keep them? I think I should. I'm going to put the front panel on in order to stop these from wobbling about too much. Nice, nice. Oh, just realised I do not have my fan on, and I am sucking up all of these wonderful fumes. Hopefully that's not coming through the mic too much. One, two, three, four. Lovely. Okay, that's good. So hopefully using that I can then put on these trimmers without it all falling apart. Now I know he's put a screw hole here for a little bit of rigidity. Oh, a little bit of rigidity, he says as he snaps the thing. I don't know that I have that. It was another thing I probably needed to buy. Or maybe it's in that other bag. I don't know. Did I buy screws for it? Or I don't recall. I really don't remember. I just have to be careful with it for now. Perhaps is the answer. Hi, Raman. You're very welcome. I'm just doing a bit of impromptu soldering. This is not like official entertainment or anything. I'm just finishing off this module that I started a couple of years ago. Thought I would share the journey. Right, so it's these trimmers. Now these trimmers are designed to come through the front. That's why I'm being a little bit more careful with it. So this is RV1. RV1. So which way round does it go? This goes on there. It goes, I think, is that to the top? Yeah, okay, so it goes to the top. RV1. RV8. I'm completely trusting the labelling I did a couple of years ago. Absolutely, I absolutely got it right, without question. LEDs. And these two are RV3, RV6. So, in order to make sure these line up, I'm going to put this back on. Because you want the trimmers to emerge from these little holes. That's the plan. Where's my little screwdriver? Holding this up. There we go. Oh, get it in. Quick. Screw the thing on. Yeah, that's right. This thing here is for a tuner run by the Arduino, which is a you know, a simple idea. It seems overcomplicated running a whole sort of microcomputer just to do a tuning thing, but then if that's what it requires, that's what it requires. The idea being that Sam found that when he was performing, the temperature changes from taking things out of the van and sticking it into a venue which then fills with people would just put everything out of tune. So having a built-in tuner to the oscillator is total genius. You know, and also adds a little bit of visual interest. And since Arduinos are not expensive, it seemed like a cool thing to do. My only slight tiny criticism is that they could have provided an input so you could plug other things into it. I think would have been awesome. Maybe you can. Maybe I can hack it. Because I am, after all, so skilled these days. That is just a big glob of solder. One, two, three, four. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all working so far. I am on it. I am on it. So what about the display then? And there's 3 LEDs. Don't think that's going to hold the display in, is it? The second socket is for a link to future projects. Some way of linking it internally to something else. That's the power one there, that's the link one. Good question. What am I doing? Right, so yeah, did that. So let's do this fella here. Can't remember why I've got 4. Maybe they only came in 4s. No, they came in 5s. And one's evidently missing. I must have put it somewhere. I'm not wary with it. This is a highly dangerous thing to be doing when I just feel a bit spaced today. Probably that extra heavy beer last night. Okay, doesn't fit there. Doesn't really fit there. Gotta have this. Gotta come off there. Yeah, it's just one VCO. You know, the point is not it's big. The point is that there's plenty of room for your fingers. You can use proper patch cables. It's important to remember which one to plug in. I imagine it is, but you know, how stupid do you think we are? What was I saying? I don't remember. So the idea is it's supposed to be big, so it's very, very playable in terms of being a gig. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the concept. So this thing here, it's got the dot. It just goes like that. Don't think there's anything impressive I have to do with it. Just solder it in. So I might use a bit of this. Oh, just brilliant, brilliant, totally brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Masking tape never works for me. Can I bend these a little bit without breaking the whole thing? Yes, I can. Good, right. Cast an eye around for other little bits of... Hey, look, there's... Oh, no, that's not it. Bits of foam and that. No, nothing's going to help me out. I must have had a tidy or something. Well, why don't I just do a leg and see what happens? That looks good. Lovely. Right way up and everything. Now, LEDs. LEDs. I've got 2 red and 1 green. I wonder which way around they go. Oh, it's the tuner. So it's going to be green in the middle, yeah? That makes some kind of sense. So, long leg positive, I think. Things are usually long leg positive, aren't they? Yeah, let's go with it. Ken! Hey, what are you doing? That sounds serious. So with these, I've got the LEDs in, and what you want them to do is poke through the holes like that. Oh, I mean like that, yeah. So you need to have the front panel in order to make that happen before you solder. Where are they? Over here! Don't melt the thing. It's totally not soldered. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, you can make them flat if you like. That's entirely up to you. But in some ways, if they're sticking out, you can see them from a greater angle. Yeah. But anyway, that's purely an aesthetic choice, and obviously a more difficult one because you're going to have to work out how to keep those flat by, you know, masking tape or putting something on it or something as you do it. Just trying to keep things simple. Where are my pincers, cutters? What's it? Excuse me, over there. Hi Ashlyn from Australia. Well done. Very welcome. Okay, so that's all the easy bits out of the way, I think. What was that? Another piece of that. It's now going to get hard. No, let me do this then. Before it gets hard, let me do the jack sockets. Where the heck are my jack sockets? I wonder which side they go on. Must be this side. Jack's soldered to this side. Must go that way round. Because that's FM. Triangle out. So it must go that way round. I've got to find a header. Oh look. I seem to have a whole bag of them. Where did they come from? Well, I never did. Flipping it. Maybe I got these for this entire reason and they've just been sat over there for 2 years. Maybe. That's exciting. So, what's going on here, right, is that this is going to have the jack sockets on, big fat jack sockets. And this kind of mounts on here because they're quite tall, so it needs to accept an entire jack socket. It needs to be fairly far back. So this, I think, kind of mounts onto here with a header like so. So I've only gone in with this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've only gone in with a 10 wide one. I've missed out the grounds on either side, which is fine. So I need 10 off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there. Should I try to solder that on there? Or again, should I do that when the jacks are in place? Don't know. Will it matter that much? Will I get that flat anyway? Is that even flat on there? Lots of questions. Now when it says jack soldered to this side, as it does on here, does that mean the solder is on here, or does it mean the socket is on here? Is the socket there, so soldered from underneath? I think the best way to work this out, because these are labelled as to what they are, is to match that up with the front panel. So if that's 1 volt per octave, pulse width, sync, so it has to be, the things themselves have to be on this side. Maybe I'll start with that. I'll put the trimmer in a minute. So where are my sockets? There seem to be 4. Ah, but I don't need 4, I need 8. Oh, rats. Rats, 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 rats. There's a load more. Including a whole bunch of knobs, look. I mean, yeah, knob things, which I'm probably going to need. Oh look, and other things I probably needed. I probably sorted this out into a kit and didn't even think about it. Okay, so that's those bits. So I've got 4. I've got 1, 2. So there's 8 in here in total. So these other 4 I should probably put away somewhere, just in case they're different. Probably the same. But anyway, let's do that. Great big 2, 3, 4 of those. 2, 3, 4. Okay, keep those separate. And we can have this whole bag of stuff. See, there's that extra one that I had to find out of another bag. Monsters. So these need to be, that's 1 volt per octave, so it needs to be this way round. How do these fit on here? We've got a big square one. Does it go like that? Like that? Oh, it looks like it can go all sorts of ways around. I mean, my assumption is that this slice off here is going to go into the square, because that appears to be different. But I think I'm going to have to look this up. Hello, Denmark. Hi, Mr. Popes. Right, so let me go to no computer. Projects. I think it is. Oh, it's never going to get me there. So I think if I go to the store, find the VCO. One is drawn on the board in white. Oh yeah, okay. This one here, you mean? So you reckon I should be following that orientation all the way across? Hello, Edinburgh. We'll miss you when you're gone, you know, Scotland. I think that makes sense. Okay, I think my best bet is to take the front panel off. Yeah, if I can be bothered with the whole getting through passport control malarkey. I mean, that's going to be hilarious. I mean, you'll probably pay people just to sit there and laugh at the Brits as they go through Scottish passport control. And we'll deserve it. Okay. Think. This is not really going to work, is it? Oh, well, keep going, keep going. You don't know until you try. I might have gone away with it. Look at that. Look at that. That might just be the way to do it. Could be the way to do it. Do I want to be putting this on before I do the... Well, I kind of felt that I did. So I am. Then I'll put it all together. Then I can solder the jumper, the header, I think. That sounds like a... It's going to use a lot of solder. Oh, come on. Oops, that's a messy one. Yeah, thicker solder would be handy, but I have what I have. Perfect slow telly, yeah. So, the trick now is to squidge this in here without obviously having to take those off, which of course I will have to take them off. But there we go. I thought for a moment there, just for a single moment, I thought I could get away without all this unscrewing. But no, 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 it is my lot in life. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to put this in here, like that. Then I need, how am I going to, oh my goodness, I have not thought this through. If I put the front panel on, I'm not going to be able to solder it. Oh dear. Oh, no, you're an idiot. You're a total idiot. So, what, I mean, I'm just going to have to put it in straight. No, this is actually the wrong way around. This is actually the wrong way around. Okay, okay. Brain engaging, brain engaging. That way around it's supposed to be. In which case, yes, the front panel does work. Yes, I can solder it in from this side. All right, okay, so there we go. There we are. Thank you, Steve. Glad I can count on you. I mean, the thing is I do tend to get there in the end. That's my thing. As I said at the beginning, when I looked at this, when I was just getting the bits together, I'd actually put an op amp into the oscillator chip IC holder. So the op amp has 7 legs, right? And I put that into an 8-leg IC holder. You know, just like that, like it's supposed to be there. And I'm looking at it going, why on earth? Why on earth did I do that? How did I do that? How did I manage to do that? Right, this is not quite right. I am out. I am out. Here we go, along one. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. It's looking pretty impressive, I have to say. Come on, come on. Come on. I am in tune with the universe. And so nuts and bolts just go together perfectly. Right, let's just solder it. So chunky. Chunky, chunky. Wow. And also the front panel's a little bit kind of warped. Not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. It does need a bit of a screw here in order to just toughen that front panel up a little bit. Because the magic octave, what's it here, is a floater. It's a floater. It's not attached to anything. It's just going to go straight in there in a floaty way. And I'm going to have to work this out. Flipping it. How on earth? How on earth? So, for these bits then, what happens is I have to solder these legs with bits of wire to here. Now in the video, Sam used a connector. He had a, you know, something he puts on here, solders to there, and then something he solders on wires and then sockets it together. I don't have that. I was reliably informed you can just do this with bits of wire. So that was my plan. I'm just going to do it with bits of wire. I've just got to think a little bit. Now these do have numbers on. I wonder if I could solder these from above to save me having to take this apart. Because I want to attach this to the front panel. One, two, three, four. There's the middle one. So, bits of wire that I have. Bits of wire. Single core. I got the bits from, I mean, Sam provides lots of links in the build document, in the BOM, for places where you can get them from, and I pretty much did what he said, followed the links he gave. Stuff came from Bitsbox, other stuff came from, I don't know where that came from. This is from, I don't, it's a couple of years ago, man, I don't really remember. This one is from Rapid Online. Well, this is this wire. I bought this ages ago, so that's nothing to do with anything. If I can find any more information, but honestly, follow the links seem to be the best bet. I didn't get anything from anywhere particularly strange. Just don't have a name on it. But I literally followed the links. So I just seem to have just wire. Hey look, there's a purple end. Why don't I use purple wire? Will it matter? Not really. So let me use a chunk of that. Cool. So I need a little bit of wires put in there. I mean, maybe I could just solder a whole bunch of, but yeah, I just. Oh. Is it easier to solder bits onto here and then attach them, or is it easier to do than, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm going to have to do something. What I'm going to have to do. It's a link connector for future projects. Let me go back to Look Mum No Computer, because there's a video on this that I want to find. Because this is the bit I just couldn't keep it in my head. Oscillator panel, splashback delay. Performance VCO. Here we go. There's the builds. Pretty sure it's in build number 2. There's the tuner code and stuff that I need for the Arduino. Schematics, crazy. Where? I must have missed them. Where are the videos? Okay. The parts, number 1, 2, here we go.
Uncalibrated, so who knows what's going to happen when you turn it on. Boom, lovely. It needs to be exactly opposite to where you put in the arrow, the semicircle part of the actual panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the on down. So that is the main PCB done. I'm just going to put the Arduino in. I've already put these in. All you need to do is make sure that the semicircles on the top or the dot on here line up with the semicircles on the PCB board. So these three are all facing that way, and then the Arduino faces the opposite way. Now it's a case of wiring up the rotary switch and also popping together the control panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the little collar, the stop collar, back in the 4th hole along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop it on the lowest. So we've got the flat bit. This is where the screw on the actual potentiometer connects, and that connects there. So the back bit needs to be exactly opposite to where you put in the arrow. The semicircle part of the actual rotary part is actually facing that way.
Okay. I need to see this bigger. Let's go to YouTube and bring this one off here. Make it bigger.
Fancy, you can use a what they call a socket. That might be nice. Or if part of the actual rotary part is actually facing that way. Fancy.
Right. So let me make sure I got this right. So I've already got my thing in at number 4, I think. So there's 5 positions ultimately on this, because there's 4 clicks. So there's the position it's in, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what it's doing. We're talking about 5 octaves. So the screw, I need to leave the washer. Do I need to leave the washer behind, or to put the washer on top? I mean, there's the washer, which is giving the position, and then there's this washer. Maybe this washer should come off. I'll put that on the top. It's one of those kind of crunchy ones. So anyway, so what the man was saying was that you want the flat bit in the opposite direction to the arrow on the knob. So where it is, you want the knob to point. So the flat bit is going to be where the screw is. So it's going to be like that. So let's turn this over. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well. Put this through here. Let's go back a second.
And that connects there. So the back bit needs to be exactly opposite to where you put in the arrow. The semicircle part of the actual rotary part is actually facing that way. Fancy, you can use a what they call a socket.
Yeah, no, he actually puts. He doesn't have this washer on the outside, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have it on anyway because it might be a good thing. I don't really know. So I'm going to screw this down. I'm assuming that's the same screw that I took off. So the position of this apparently needs to be. So I do have the Eurorack one to look at. 1 second. So the Eurorack one's going from sort of 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in turn. So if this is, in some ways I could have it pointing that way, and then with this on, let me but with that on there, I should get one. Oh, I'm completely in the wrong place. So if I 1, 2, 3, so I turn it all the way left, put it to where he suggests, and that's going to be like that, and then it's going to end up like that. So I suppose that's right. So it's going to go a bit from sort of there to there. Not going to quite have the swing of the other one. That's okay. So that does seem to be about right. So that's going to be, so essentially I'm going to send that, the flat bit down the print here. I think that sounds like a good idea. Of course I don't have the chat on now because I'm looking at the video, which means I've missed all of your wonderfully good advice. Oh no, not a thing, not a single word. Okay. So this has actually got to be on here quite tightly because it's the only thing it's got is being attached to the front panel. As I say, there's a screw hole here which is designed to give it a bit of rigidity because this is slightly warped and it's not pulling it all together, and this is gonna, you know what I'm saying. So it would be good to do something with that, to find a screw that works. Do I have something that would fit in there? You know, I probably do, if I look hard enough in my little bank of blue boxes of crap. I might find the perfect thing. So I don't think I ordered anything like it. It would also help out with these reference trimmers as well. Anyway, I'm getting hungry, so I need to be getting on. So yeah, so that's good, I think. So the question then becomes, what the heck do I do now? So I need to go wires from here to particular pins on here. That's what I need to do. So let's listen to the man again, see what he says.
Socket, that might be nice, or if you want to be really careful and live on the edge like me, I'm just going to use a pair of pliers.
I am a pair of pliers man.
Nice and tight. Boom. Love it. Oh yeah. You'll see there's actually some really faint numbers next to these pins. You need to solder pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, and pin 5, and then also the central.
So he's putting solder on the pins, which sounds like a good idea. That's like doing it properly type idea, that is. So let's do that. So 1 to 5 and the middle one. It's just slightly weird because my 1 to 5 is sort of around the top. It's like his is the complete opposite of mine. That seems right though. I mean, are these things completely uniform? Well, they must be because they tend to go in sockets that you've built them for, don't they? If I look at mine, well, there's no knowing. Wish I knew what the shortcut was to going back 10 seconds like my kids are always doing. So let's just go back to what he said. Yeah, I definitely did that.
What are they called? A socket, that might be nice, or if you want to be really careful and live on the edge like me, I'm just going to use a pair of pliers. But it needs to be exactly opposite to where you put in the arrow. The semicircle part of the actual rotary part is actually facing that way. If you fancy, you can use a, what are they called? A socket, that might be nice, or if you want to be really careful, the semicircle part.
How am I going to zoom into that? Print the screen. I don't have a print screen thing on here, do I? don't think I do. Is there any way I can zoom in? That's crazy. Because when he says the semicircular part is aiming over there. So if the semicircular part, let me mock this up. Let me get this. I don't want to mess this up at this point. So if that goes against, because the screw goes against the flat bit, right? Yeah, that seemed to be what the man was saying. And so that works. So I do have it the right way round, I think. But he was suggesting that the semicircular bit points that way, in which case I'd have this completely opposite. See, that seems right to me. Yeah? That seems right. I think that seems right. That's right. If it was facing round the other way, I would be drawing things around the bottom, wouldn't I? Unless... I mean, you put the screws into the flat side, yeah? Because he's going the opposite side to the flat side. Wasn't that what he was saying? Oh, God. God, God, God.
This is where the screw on the actual potentiometer connects, and that connects there. So the back bit needs to be exactly opposite to where you put in the arrow. The semicircle part of the actual rotary part is actually facing that way.
Yeah, okay, I convinced myself that I'm doing it right now. So I'm going to go with as I am, because I think that's right. Take this off here until I'm completely ready. What are you restreamers saying? Okay, consensus is yeah. Right, so I'm going to put solder on. Where my hair's going to get in the way. This middle fella here. And then 1 to 5. Alrighty. Let's see what happens next.
You'll see there's actually some really faint numbers next to these pins. You need to solder pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, and pin 5. And then also the central pin. This all is going to connect to this Molex connector right here. There's an arrow pointing on this side. That's actually the center one. Number 1 being the lowest, so we solder number 1 to this pin. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You can literally just wire them to. You don't need to use this pin.
So as your man says, don't need to use a pin header, but so the far one is no, that's not what he's saying, is it? Oh, there's 6. Okay. So I've got ground on either side, perhaps. No. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, okay, 1. Oh no. This is not clear. Not clear at all. Because on the board it says ground and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then doesn't say 5. It's got an arrow on it. Now, in the video, he says that this over here is the center one, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starting over here. I mean, I guess pin 1, if pin 1 is 0, then that's pin 2 is for volt, is adding a volt, adding 2 volts, 3 volts, 4 volts. That might be what that means. But you do suspiciously have ground written in a square hole.
So we solder number 1 to this pin, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You can literally just wire them to. You don't need to use this pin, this header. You can skip this if you really want. I mean, I just like keeping it nice and neat with these things. I use the same single coil wire that I use in my other projects, like the filter project and stuff like that, and the LFO project. There's a link on my website to get this stuff, but there's no reason why you can't use stranded wire or any wire really, whatever works. Or then you're literally just soldering them on this rotary switch. You can get ones with actual holes coming out of these, but I kind of prefer the PC-bound B-round ones which are here. So for the connectors, I'm using, like I've mentioned, these Molex connectors, and the reason why these are good is because they're pretty solid when they get nice and stuck in. They're like these, but you can actually connect whatever wires you want. We'll talk about these later. I'll actually do a video at some point in the near future about how to make your own Eurorack style power supply cables, because they're a lot easier than you may think if you haven't really thought about it. But for these, you can get, basically what you do is you have these little things that focuses. You have these small metal things, and then there's this beautiful crib, really finically.
Yeah, not doing that.
Oh, this is going to be...
Just want to see him plug it in.
Measure.
Oh.
And then you've got a removable, just in case you've made a mistake here. It saves you from having to remove that again. It's up to you. You don't need this. You could just use a wire.
Are you seeing that? Can you see that on your where you are? I can't see what you can see. Can you see that? I don't know if you're looking at that. So this has given me pause for thought, because he's plugged it in after saying that the first pin was over here. Excuse me, over here. And then it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you're right. It is over here. So no, he's definitely put the yellow one over here, which is the pin 1. And then he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, regardless of what it says on here. So I simply may not be interpreting this writing on here correctly. But what he did in the video is he went this pin to here, and then the rest. I'm going to have to do it, aren't I? Ultimately. And maybe I should have used the thing that he's talking about. I've lost my wire now. Where's my wire gone? Oh, I don't know. I've eaten it or something. Oh, there it is. So, I mean, heck, let me stick a load of... I don't know. Well, let me take a piece of wire, cut the ends off. There's another one of these occasions where I'm thinking, oh, I really should get some wire strippers. Now, obviously I could use a different colour for the other one, but I've just got this purple wire, so why don't I just use the purple wire? going to be long enough. Let's say there, shall we? Barely long enough. Barely. Barely. It'll do. So what I'm going to do is see if I can stick this through the hole. I put solder on because mine does have holes on it. Yes, I can. Look at that. Brilliant. Just awesome. Awesome, awesome. Just going to boost that up with a little bit more. Like so. And this should go in here. And I'm going to attempt to just solder it from above. And just stick all my solder on the soldering iron. There you go. Nice. I'm not gonna lot. I've got enough. Oh well. Well, this is exciting stuff, you know. It's not every day you do this sort of level of soldering. You're just sort of farting around doing what you're told. This is a little bit more investigative. So this is going to go in here. Like so. That's actually got plenty of solder on it. And this is number one. So number one goes over here. So I'm told that's how it should be. This is going to be so easy to remove when I get this all completely wrong. Oh, bugger. Just make it easy on yourself. This is number 2. Goes through there. 2 in there. Can I get 3 out of this one? Probably not. Three. Ouch. Then I just need a tiny bit more of that purple. Ouch. And number 5. All done. All done. Wow. I turn it, the whole thing spins round. Oh, it's all out of whack now. Oh, I totally blew it. So, yeah, that definitely needs to be tightened to an nth degree. Let me see if I can do that. Without it twisting itself off. I think that my pliers are not needle nose enough to sort that bit out. Oh, I'm going to be scratching this. I'm not careful. Come on. I know, it's done now. It's in. Right, so that all should just kind of work, is the thing. Now I can obviously put the knobs on. Or I can plug it in first. Maybe I'll plug it in first and turn it on. I mean, I haven't programmed the Arduino as yet. That's something I don't think I'll do on camera, because I've just got, you know, faffing around and stuff, and it's time to get some lunch and all that sort of thing before my brain power reduces so much that I'm unable to do anything. I wonder which way around this goes. I do not know. Which way around has he got it?
When I started, I probably would.
Okay, so he's got this bit pointing over there, so let's go with that. I've got more legs. So his missing leg is at the front. This lines up over here. Okay. Come on, maybe I just need to take a break before I do something silly. Oh no, that is all going to fit in there, he says. Oh, lovely. It's one of those square USB ports type cables that no one ever has. Well, that's awesome. Right, so that's all in. So potentially I could power it on and that would do a thing, and it could even make noise. It's got to be worth a go, isn't it? Just before I stop, because everything else is in, and that means, yeah, okay. Right, so I need something to make that happen. Something like this. Where's my power supply for this? I've seen it. Nifty, yeah. Okay. Now, obviously this doesn't fit in the case. I appreciate that, but it does take the same power. So that's what I'm attempting to do. So that's the link one, this is the power one, there's minus, should only go in one way round. This one, red line goes to negative, goes in there. Right, okay. Okay, so this all might go horribly wrong at this point. Let's see what we can see. Oh, I've got lights on the Arduino, that's a good sign. Not seeing any smoke. Got no LED lights, but that may be because the Arduino isn't programmed. That much I don't know. I guess it would be interesting to see whether I get any kind of sound output. Okay, no smoke. So, to do that, I'm going to need to turn that on. I've got on either end. Where is this currently routing through? It's currently going through the tape machine, which makes things more annoying. I think, isn't it? There's something going on. Okay, so not massively successful. Well, that's a shame. So, well, what I did, I mean, essentially I built this thing 2 years ago, and I only just come back to it now to finish it off. So things I will need to do, that's definitely off, isn't it? Yeah. Things I will need to do is to sort out the Arduino, see if that's a factor, but it should power on, you know, it should power on without that, I'm pretty sure. But that's one thing to do. I'll go through all my terrible soldering, make sure that that's correct. See if there's any other blundering errors that I've made, which is very possible. It's definitely right. Of course, my LEDs may be the wrong way around. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. That's a test point there. And I do have this missing capacitor. You know, it could all be down to that. Maybe I could find one in something else. Don't know, but I'm going to have to leave it there for now. Oops. Ah. Let's get this out of the way. But yeah, I don't think I'm ready to put it back together again yet. There's some investigation required. Just trying to weigh up whether I have the time to do that or whether I should put this on the back burner for now. Well, you know, I could go through and reflow a lot of solder. That would help, probably. I could have done all sorts of stupid things. Thanks, Wonky. Right, so turn that off in a minute. Yeah, alright, so it's always a bit kind of like a when it's not a completely successful build immediately, but I have plenty of things I can look at. I might give it a bit of a go once I've had a bit of a rest and see if I can work out where I've stuffed it up. And yeah, I need to program the Arduino. That's one thing I'd certainly need to do, and that will then discount that as being part of the problem. But it was definitely giving me lights, which is a good sign. Cool. Well, there we go. That was exciting, kind of. But yeah, you know, I have caught up. That's the idea. The idea was to finish this, which I kind of almost have, and that was the plan, and that's what I did. So that's cool. Let's go with that and not feel too depressed about it. So cool. Thanks for joining me, anyone who did. I'm not sure how useful this is going to be for other people to watch, but we shall see. It's all part of a life's rich tapestry, isn't it? yeah, so I need to just go and take a break, and we will see how we get to. So thanks. Take it easy, and if I can find the button to turn it off, I will. And yeah, see you soon.